My name is Michelle. I'm 45 years old, and the call at 2:47 a.m. changed everything. Mom, I can't stop throwing up. Kaya's voice cracked through the phone like breaking glass. My heart slammed against my ribs. Baby, where are you? The hospital, they're saying... Her words dissolved into sobs. They're saying I might die this time. I was already grabbing my keys, my hands shaking so hard I dropped them twice. I'm coming. Don't you dare give up on me. The drive to Cedars-Sinai blurred past in a haze of red lights and prayers. Kaya had been in recovery for 8 months. 8 months of hope after 3 years of hell watching my baby girl disappear one meal at a time. Her sponsor, Patricia, had been a godsend. Or so I thought. I found Kaya in the ER, IV tubes snaking from her arms like plastic vines. At 19, she looked 12. Hollow cheeks, bird bones, my beautiful daughter reduced to angles and shadows. Mrs. Washington? A doctor approached, clipboard in hand. Your daughter's electrolytes are dangerously low. We need to discuss... How did this happen? I interrupted. She was doing so well. Patricia said... Patricia? Kaya's eyes flew open. Mom, I need to tell you something about Patricia. The words that came next shattered everything I thought I knew. She's been telling me I'm not sick enough. That real eating disorder patients are skinnier. She said if I gained weight, I was just being weak. Kaya's voice was barely a whisper. She kept showing me pictures of herself when she was sicker. Said I needed to prove my commitment. My blood turned to ice. What do you mean, prove your commitment? She made me weigh myself every day and report back. If I gained anything, she'd say I was lying about my recovery, that I was just pretending to get better to make you happy. The room started spinning. Patricia, with her kind smile and gentle voice. Patricia, who'd survived her own eating disorder and volunteered to sponsor young women in recovery. Patricia, who I'd trusted with my daughter's life. She said sponsors are supposed to challenge you. Kaya continued, tears streaming down her sunken cheeks. That being comfortable meant I wasn't really working the program. I gripped the bed rail until my knuckles went white. How long has this been going on? Since month 3, right when I started gaining weight back. Kaya's confession hit me like a physical blow. She said gaining too fast meant I'd relapse anyway, so I might as well learn to control it properly. Control it properly. The words echoed in my skull like gunshots. I stepped into the hallway, my phone already in my hand. Patricia answered on the second ring, her voice syrupy with fake concern. Michelle, how's our girl doing? Our girl? The words came out like acid. Our girl is dying, Patricia. Again. Silence stretched between us like a taut wire. I don't understand what you mean, she said carefully. Cut the bullshit. My voice carried down the hospital corridor. I know what you've been doing. The weighing, the pictures, the mind games. Michelle, you're clearly upset. Upset? I laughed, but nothing about it was funny. My daughter just told me how you've been sabotaging her recovery for 5 months, how you've been keeping her sick. That's not... She's confused. Eating disorder patients often... Don't you dare. The words came out in a growl. Don't you dare gaslight me about my own child. Another pause. When Patricia spoke again, her mask had slipped completely. Some people need to stay in recovery longer than others. Kaya wasn't ready to be independent. I was helping her. You were keeping her dependent on you. The realization hit me like a freight train. Jesus Christ! You were keeping her sick to feed your own need to be needed. You don't understand the complexities. I understand that my daughter almost died tonight because of you. I could hear Patricia's breathing change, becoming shallow and quick. Michelle, if you report this, you'll destroy my reputation. I've helped dozens of girls. By keeping them sick? By being there for them when no one else would? By understanding what they're going through in ways their families never could? Her voice had taken on a desperate edge, and suddenly I could see it all clearly. Patricia, the eternal patient. Patricia, who needed to be the wise, wounded healer. Patricia, who couldn't exist without broken girls to fix. Or keep broken. How many? I asked quietly. What? How many girls, Patricia? How many daughters have you sabotaged to feed whatever sick need this fulfills for you? The line went dead. I stood in that sterile hospital hallway, fluorescent lights humming overhead, and felt rage build in my chest like a living thing. For 8 months, I'd watched my daughter struggle. I'd celebrated every small victory, agonized over every setback. I'd blamed myself, blamed society, blamed everything except the woman I'd trusted to guide Kaya back to health. The woman who'd been poisoning her recovery from the inside. Back in Kaya's room, machines beeped steadily, monitoring the daughter I'd almost lost. Again. Mom? Her voice was small, scared. Are you going to report her? I looked at my baby girl, my fighter, my survivor who'd been sabotaged by the very person meant to help her heal. Damn right I am. But first, I was going to make sure Patricia never got the chance to hurt another daughter, another family, another mother who trusted the wrong person with everything that mattered. The war wasn't over. It was just beginning. I marched into the treatment center Monday morning like I owned the place. Patricia sat behind her desk, organizing files with the same serene expression she'd worn while poisoning my daughter's mind. When she saw me, her smile faltered for just a second. Michelle, what a lovely surprise. How's Kaya? Cut it. I slammed a folder on her desk. I know about the others. Her face went pale. I don't know what you mean. Jasmine Rodriguez, relapsed after 6 months with you. Brianna Williams, hospitalized twice during your guidance. I flipped open the folder, revealing printed emails, forum posts, desperate messages from other mothers. Should I keep going? Patricia's hands trembled as she reached for the papers. You can't just come in here making accusations. I spent the weekend digging into your track record. I leaned across her desk. Funny how every girl you sponsor ends up relapsing right when they start getting better. That's not. Recovery is complicated. Bullshit. I pulled out my phone, hit record. Tell me about the weigh-ins, Patricia. Her eyes darted to the door. You're recording me illegally? One-party consent state. Try again. She stood up, smoothing her cardigan with shaking hands. I think you should leave. I'm not going anywhere until you explain how you sleep at night. You don't understand what these girls need. They need to get better. My voice echoed off the walls. Not stay sick so you can play savior. Patricia's mask finally cracked. You think it's that simple? You think recovery is just gaining weight and pretending everything's fine? I think recovery isn't supposed to include daily weigh-ins and shame sessions. I was teaching her discipline. You were teaching her to hate herself. She was getting cocky. The words burst out of Patricia like poison. Acting like she was cured after a few months. They always do that, these girls. Think they're special. There it was. The truth. Ugly and raw. So, you knocked them down. Patricia's laugh was bitter. I keep them grounded. I keep them honest about their disease. You keep them sick. I keep them alive. She slammed her hand on the desk. Do you know what happens to girls who think they're cured? They relapse harder. They die. So you make sure they never recover in the first place. Patricia stared at me, breathing hard. For a moment, I saw past her gentle sponsor facade to something desperate and broken underneath. "I've been in recovery for 15 years, she whispered. 15 years of fighting this every single day. These girls, they think it gets easier. It doesn't. So you drag them down with you. I prepare them for reality. You sabotage them." I leaned closer. "How many, Patricia? How many girls have you destroyed because you can't stand to see them get better when you never did?" Her face crumpled. "I help them. I'm the only one who really understands." "You're sick." The words came out flat, factual. "And you're using their sickness to feed yours. You don't know what you're talking about." "I know my daughter almost died because of you." Patricia straightened, trying to regain composure. "Kaya was struggling before I ever met her. And you made sure she kept struggling. I can't be held responsible for every setback." "The photos, Patricia." I pulled out printed screenshots. Before and after pictures you sent to multiple girls, your own sick photos. Her face went white as paper. "This is what real commitment looks like," I read from the printout. "You're not trying hard enough? Ring any bells?" "Those were taken out of context." "Context?" I laughed, sharp and ugly. "What context makes showing sick photos to recovering girls okay?" "They needed to understand the seriousness. They needed to recover." I slammed my fist on her desk. "Not worship your disease." Patricia backed toward the wall, clutching her cardigan. "You're twisting everything." "Am I?" I pulled out more papers. Forum posts where you brag about keeping girls honest. Messages where you tell mothers their daughters are manipulating them. I was protecting those families. From what? Their daughters getting healthy? From false hope. The words exploded out of her. From thinking recovery is some fairy tale where everything gets better. There it was again, the poison at her core. "So you make sure it doesn't get better." Patricia's shoulders sagged. "You don't understand what it's like, watching everyone else move on while you're still trapped." "So you trap them too?" "I prepare them." "Stop." I held up my hand. "Just stop lying. To me, to yourself, to everyone." She stared at me, tears streaming down her face. "How many girls, Patricia?" "I don't know what you want me to say." "The truth. For once in your miserable life, tell the truth." She was quiet for so long, I thought she wouldn't answer. Then, in a voice barely above a whisper, Maybe I wasn't ready to let them go." The admission hung between us like a death sentence. "Let them go to what? Health? Happiness? A life without you controlling them?" I needed them to need me. Finally, the truth, raw and devastating. And if keeping them sick was the price? Patricia's silence was answer enough. I gathered my papers, my evidence, my ammunition. "The state board gets this tomorrow. Every parent gets copies. Every treatment center in the city gets warned about you." "Michelle, please." "You're done, Patricia. You'll never hurt another girl again." I headed for the door, then stopped. "One more thing. Kaya's gaining weight. Real weight. Healthy weight. And you know what? She's happy about it. Because that's what recovery actually looks like when someone isn't sabotaging it." Patricia crumpled into her chair as I walked out. In my car, I sat for a moment, hands shaking on the steering wheel. 8 months of watching my daughter suffer. 8 months of trusting the wrong person. But it was over now. I drove straight to the state licensing board. Patricia's reign of poisonous help was about to end. My phone buzzed with a text from Kaya. "Mom, I ate breakfast without weighing myself first. Felt good." I smiled through my tears. Recovery was finally real. I gripped the printed messages tighter. "How many others, Patricia?" Her face went chalk white. I don't know what you mean. Bullshit. I spread the papers across her desk. Emma Richardson, Jasmine Clark, my daughter Kaya. Patricia's hands trembled as she reached for the papers. These are private sabotage. I leaned forward. You sent sick photos to recovering girls? You're taking this out of context? What context makes this okay? I jabbed at a screenshot. This is real commitment. You're not trying hard enough. She clutched her cardigan. They needed honesty about their disease. They needed recovery. My voice cracked. Not your poison. I was helping them understand. Understand what? How to stay sick forever like you? The words hit like a slap. Patricia flinched, backing toward the wall. I've been in recovery 15 years, she whispered. No, you haven't. I stood up. You've been sick 15 years and dragging others down with you. That's not true. Then explain these. I pulled out forum screenshots. Kept another girl grounded today. False recovery is dangerous. Patricia's breath came in short gasps. I was protecting them. From what? Getting better? From relapse? From thinking recovery is some fairy tale? There it was, the truth bleeding through her lies. So you made sure they never recovered at all? I kept them realistic. You kept them dependent. I slammed my hand on the desk. On you. She crumpled into her chair. You don't understand what it's like. What? Watching everyone else heal while you stay trapped? Her silence was answer enough. So you trapped them too. Patricia's face twisted. Maybe I wasn't ready to let them go. The admission hung between us like a death sentence. Let them go to what? Health? Happiness? I needed them to need me. Finally, the raw, ugly truth. And keeping them sick was the price? She buried her face in her hands. I told myself I was helping. Helping yourself. I gathered the papers, while my daughter almost died. Kaya was struggling before you sent her photos of your ribs? Before you told her she was lying about being hungry? Patricia looked up, tears streaming. I thought I was saving her. From what? From the pain of failing again. So you made sure she'd fail. I made sure she understood the reality. Your reality. I leaned across the desk. Your sick, twisted reality where nobody gets better. She shrank back. It's not that simple. It's exactly that simple. I held up my phone. This conversation, it's all recorded. Patricia's eyes went wide. You can't. Watch me. I headed for the door. The state board gets this tomorrow. Michelle, please. Every parent gets copies. Every treatment center gets warned. You'll destroy my career. I turned back. Good. You destroyed my daughter's health. I can change. Too late. I opened the door. You're done hurting girls. Patricia collapsed forward onto her desk, sobbing. In the hallway, I leaned against the wall, hands shaking. 8 months of trusting her. 8 months of watching Kaya suffer, while Patricia fed off her pain. My phone buzzed. Text from Kaya. Ate lunch without counting calories? Felt weird, but good. I smiled through my tears. Real recovery, finally starting. I drove straight to the licensing board. Patricia's reign of poisonous help was over. I pulled out my phone and hit record. Say that again, Patricia. Her eyes darted to the device. Turn that off. Say it again. I held the phone steady. About needing them to need you. I won't repeat. You just confessed to keeping sick girls dependent on you. Patricia lunged for my phone. I stepped back. Delete that. Not happening. I kept recording. Tell me about the others. There are no others. Emma Richardson. Her face crumpled. Jasmine Clark. Stop. How many more, Patricia? She pressed her back against the wall. You don't understand. I understand perfectly. I moved closer. You're a predator. That's not. You prey on vulnerable girls. I help them. By keeping them sick? By keeping them alive? Her voice cracked. Do you know how many die from this disease? Do you know how many you've kept from recovering? She slid down the wall to the floor. I saved them from false hope. You stole their real hope. Hope kills girls like us. Girls like us? I crouched down. You mean girls you've broken? Patricia hugged her knees. I was trying to protect them. From getting better? From thinking they could get better and then failing. So you made sure they'd fail. I made sure they'd survive. Barely surviving isn't living. She rocked back and forth. You have no idea what this disease does. I watched it almost kill my daughter. Because she wasn't ready. Because you weren't ready to let her go? Patricia's breathing turned ragged. They all leave eventually. When they recover? When they think they're recovered. And you can't handle being alone. She looked up at me, mascara streaking. I've been alone for 15 years. Because you choose sickness over health. Because health is a lie. I stood up. That's what you tell yourself. It's what I know. It's what you need to believe to justify hurting children. I don't hurt. You sent my daughter photos of your ribs. To show her reality. To trigger her. Patricia scrambled to her feet. She needed to see. She needed to heal. She needed to understand the disease. She understood it fine until you poisoned her mind. I opened her eyes. You broke her spirit. Patricia grabbed my arm. Don't you see? I was saving her from worse. I jerked away. From what? Happiness? From relapse. By keeping her in constant relapse? By keeping her aware. Of your sickness. She stumbled backward. Stop saying that. You're sick, Patricia. You've been sick for 15 years. I'm in recovery. Recovery means getting better. You're getting worse. That's not true. I held up the printed messages. These say different. You're twisting everything. I'm reading your words. Out of context. What context makes telling a starving girl she's fat acceptable? Patricia's hands flew to her throat. I never said fat. Your body is lying to you about hunger. That's different. Trust the scale, not your feelings. That's harm reduction. That's harm creation. She pressed against the window. You're making me sound like a monster. You are a monster. I'm trying to help. Help yourself feel needed. Help them stay safe. Safe from recovery. Patricia slapped the glass. Recovery isn't real. There it is. I stepped closer. The truth. It's not sustainable. Because you sabotage it. Because the disease always wins. Only when people like you feed it. She slid down the window. I can't watch them die. So you keep them dying slowly. I keep them breathing. Barely. It's enough. For who? You? Patricia curled into a ball. I need them to understand. Understand what? That I'm not the enemy. You are the enemy. The disease is the enemy. You are the disease, Patricia. She looked up, eyes wild. That's not possible. You became what you fought. No. You became the voice in their heads. Stop. The voice that says they'll never be good enough. Please stop. The voice that keeps them trapped. I'm helping them. You're helping yourself. Patricia stood up shakily. I have to call security. Go ahead. I waved my phone. They can listen to this recording. You can't use that. Watch me. She reached for her desk phone. I didn't move. I'm calling them now. Call them. Her hand trembled on the receiver. You're destroying my life. You destroyed theirs first. I saved their lives. You stole their lives. She dropped the phone. What do you want from me? The truth. I told you the truth. Tell me about the forum. What forum? The pro-Ana forum you moderate. Patricia went white. How did you find it? I smiled coldly. I'm smarter than the sick girls you manipulate. I don't manipulate anyone. Kept another girl grounded today. That was taken out of context. What context? I was helping her stay realistic. About staying sick. About staying safe. From recovery. From false recovery. I moved toward the door. We're done here. Where are you going? To end this. You can't. I already have. Patricia blocked my path. Please, Michelle. Move. I'll lose everything. Good. I'll have nothing. You'll have what you gave those girls. Nothing. I can change. Too late. Give me a chance. You had 15 years of chances. I pushed past her to the door. And you used everyone to hurt someone. Michelle. I turned the handle. I'm sorry. Tell that to the girls you broke. I walked out, leaving her crumbling behind me. In the elevator, I stopped the recording. 8 minutes of pure confession. My phone buzzed. Kaya. Had a snack without guilt. Weird, but good. I smiled through my tears. Real recovery was finally beginning. The state board was expecting me. The elevator doors opened to chaos. Mrs. Williams, you can't go in there. The receptionist jumped up from her desk. Too late. I was already pushing through Patricia's office door. She sat hunched over her computer, frantically deleting files. Her fingers flew across the keyboard like she was erasing evidence, which she was. Step away from the computer, Patricia. She spun around, eyes wide. Michelle, I thought you left. I came back. I held up a flash drive. Good thing, too. What's that? Copies of everything you just deleted. Her face went chalk white. How did you? Your IT department is surprisingly helpful when you mention child endangerment. Patricia's hands trembled as she reached for her phone. I'm calling security. Go ahead. They'll want to see this too. I plugged the drive into her computer. File after file populated the screen. Screenshots of private messages, forum posts, email chains. Oh, God. Patricia sank into her chair. Let's start with this one. I clicked on a folder labeled Success Stories. 15 girls over 3 years, all your sponsees. Michelle, please. All relapsed within 6 months of showing real progress. That's normal. All after receiving the same type of messages from you. I opened the first file. Screenshots filled the screen. Patricia, recovery. Coach. Your body is fighting recovery. That's why you feel so uncomfortable. Kaya Williams, 2024. But my therapist says discomfort means I'm healing. Patricia, recovery. Coach. Therapists say a lot of things. Trust your sponsor. Recognize this conversation? Patricia's breathing got shallow. You don't understand the context. Here's more context. I scrolled down. Patricia, recovery. Coach. Real recovery means accepting you'll never feel normal around food. Kaya Williams, 2024. That sounds like giving up. Patricia, recovery. Coach. It's being realistic. The girls who think they can eat normally always crash harder. Still feeling good about context? I was protecting her from disappointment. Were you protecting Sarah Chen too? I opened another file. Patricia, recovery coach. You've been eating a lot lately. Maybe slow down? Sarah's fighter. My meal plan says this is normal. Patricia, recovery. Coach, meal plans are guidelines. Your body knows better. Patricia grabbed the mouse, trying to close the files. I blocked her hand. Don't touch anything. This is private correspondence between an adult and vulnerable teenagers. I opened another folder. Speaking of which, let's talk about the forum. Her whole body went rigid. What forum? Thinnestthread.com. Ring a bell? I don't know what you're talking about. User profile Mother Hen Recovery, moderator for 3 years. That's not me. I clicked on her posting history, hundreds of entries. Helped another girl see reality today? Sometimes tough love is the only love. Anyone could have written that. With your email address, your recovery center letterhead, and your signature? Patricia slumped forward. You're ruining everything. Let's see what I'm ruining. I kept scrolling. These girls think recovery means eating whatever they want. I show them different. Stop. Restriction isn't the enemy. False hope is. Please stop. If they hate me now but stay alive, I did my job. That's enough. She lunged for the computer. I stepped back, pulling the flash drive with me. Sit down, Patricia. You're taking everything out of context. Explain the context of this. I read from my phone. Girl in my group gained 5 pounds this week. Had to remind her that recovery weight isn't sustainable weight. She was gaining too fast. According to who? According to medical standards. You're not a doctor. I have 15 years of experience. 15 years of keeping girls sick. 15 years of keeping them alive. Barely alive, suffering, dependent on you. Patricia started pacing. You don't understand the disease. I understand predators. I'm not a predator. You hunt vulnerable girls. I help them. You groom them. That's disgusting. You isolate them from real recovery. I protect them from false recovery. You make them need you. They do need me, because you make sure they never get better. Patricia stopped pacing. Her face crumpled. They leave, she whispered. What? When they recover, they leave. That's the point of recovery. But then I'm alone. So you keep them sick. So I keep them safe. Safe and dependent. Safe and alive. I stared at her. The mask was completely off now. No more pretense of helping. How many girls, Patricia? What? Over 15 years. How many girls have you sabotaged? I didn't sabotage anyone. How many? I helped them. How many? Her shoulders shook. I don't know. Guess. Maybe 50, 60? 60 girls who could have recovered. 60 girls who didn't die. 60 girls who didn't live either. Patricia collapsed into her chair. I couldn't watch them fail. So you made sure they couldn't succeed. I made sure they stayed realistic. You made sure they stayed yours. She looked up at me with hollow eyes. What happens now? I held up my phone. Now everyone finds out. You recorded this? Every word. You can't use that. I can, and I will. Patricia's face went through 5 expressions at once. Fear, anger, desperation, defeat. My career is over. Your victims' lives are just beginning. I'll lose my license. Good. I'll have nothing. You'll have what you gave them, a chance to start over. I walked to the door. Michelle, wait. I turned back. I really thought I was helping. No, you didn't. I did. In the beginning, maybe. But you've known for years. Known what? That you were feeding the disease instead of fighting it. Patricia's silence was answer enough. I opened the door. The state board meets at 4. I'll be there. Please don't do this. I already did. I walked out, leaving her with her deleted files and 15 years of lies. In the hallway, my phone buzzed. Kaya. Mom, I ate lunch, like all of it, felt scary but good. Me. Proud of you, baby. Keep going. Kaya. Patricia hasn't texted me back in 2 days. Weird. Me. She won't be texting anymore. Kaya. What does that mean? Me. It means you're free. I stepped into the hallway and pulled out my phone. Dr. Martinez, it's Michelle Washington. I have evidence you need to see. Evidence of what? Patricia Henley. She's been sabotaging recoveries for 15 years. Silence. Then, that's a serious accusation. I have recordings, files, a forum where she posts as a recovery coach while pushing restriction. Where are you now? The treatment center, Patricia's office. Don't move, I'm calling the board. How long? 20 minutes. I hung up and called my sister. Denise, I need you to do something. What's wrong? You sound shaky. I'm fine. I need you to call the other mothers. The support group. All of them? Everyone whose daughter worked with Patricia. Michelle, what's going on? Patricia's been keeping the girls sick on purpose. What? That's insane. I have proof, but I need the other families to know before this hits the news. Jesus, how many girls? 60, maybe more. Denise went quiet. I'll make the calls. Tell them to check their daughters' phones. Look for messages from Patricia outside of sessions. What kind of messages? Anything about eating too much, gaining too fast, recovery being fake. That bitch. Denise! No, Michelle, that evil bitch. These girls trusted her. I know, just make the calls. I hung up and walked back to Patricia's office. She was still sitting in her chair, staring at nothing. The state board is coming, I said. She looked up. When? 20 minutes. I need to call my lawyer. Go ahead. She reached for her phone, then stopped. What did you tell them? The truth. Your version of the truth. The recorded version. Patricia's hand shook as she dialed. I listened to her leave a voicemail. Jim, it's Patricia. I need you at the treatment center immediately. There's been a misunderstanding. She hung up and looked at me. This will destroy everything. Good. The center will close. Other girls will lose their treatment. Other girls will find real treatment. You don't understand how this works. I understand exactly how this works. You prey on desperation. Patricia stood up. I'm leaving. No, you're not. You can't keep me here. The board can. They're not here yet. She moved toward the door. I blocked her path. Get out of my way, Michelle. Sit down. I'm done with this conversation. The conversation is done when I say it's done. You're not in charge here. Actually, I am. My phone buzzed. Text from Dr. Martinez. Board members in parking lot. Keep her in the office. Your ride's here, I said. Patricia's face went white. What ride? The state board. They're in the parking lot. She rushed to the window. I don't see anyone. They're coming. I need to prepare my statement. Your statement is already recorded. I have rights. So did those 60 girls. Patricia grabbed her purse. I'm calling in sick. You are sick, but not the way you mean. Move, Michelle. No. She tried to push past me. I grabbed her wrist. Let go of me. Sit down. This is assault. This is justice. Patricia yanked her arm away. You're insane. I'm protective. There's a difference. Protective of what? My daughter, and every daughter you've hurt. Footsteps in the hallway. Patricia's eyes darted to the door. Dr. Martinez? A voice called. In here, I shouted back. Don't answer for me, Patricia hissed. I'll answer however I want. The door opened. 3 people in suits walked in. Ms. Henley? The woman in front held up a badge. I'm Janet Pierce, State Licensing Board. We need to talk. Patricia's legs gave out. She collapsed into her chair. I want my lawyer. That's your right. But we have some questions first. Janet Pierce looked at me. You're Michelle Washington? Yes, ma'am. You made the complaint? I did. Do you have the evidence you mentioned? I handed her the flash drive. Everything's on there. Janet plugged it into Patricia's computer. The files loaded. Jesus, one of the other board members whispered. Patricia buried her face in her hands. It's not what it looks like. It looks like systematic sabotage, Janet said. I was helping them. By telling them recovery is fake? By keeping them realistic? By running a pro-restriction forum? Patricia looked up. That's not what it was. Thinnestthread.com. You were the moderator. I was trying to guide them. You were triggering them. I was protecting them from disappointment. Janet clicked through more files. 63 girls over 15 years? You counted? Patricia whispered. We counted. 63 girls who could have recovered if you hadn't interfered. They would have relapsed anyway. Because you made sure they would. Patricia started crying. Not sad crying. Angry crying. You don't understand the disease. We understand manipulation, Janet said. Pack your office. Your license is suspended pending investigation. You can't do that? We just did. Patricia looked around the room like a trapped animal. This is my life's work. Your life's work was keeping sick girls sick. I saved lives. You destroyed them. Janet closed the laptop. Ms. Washington, thank you for bringing this to our attention. Thank you for listening. We'll need your full statement. Whatever you need. Patricia stood up slowly. Michelle? What? I hope you can live with what you've done. I looked at this woman who'd spent 15 years feeding on vulnerability. I hope you can't. The board members escorted Patricia out, but I wasn't done. Wait, I called after them. Janet Pierce turned back. Yes? What about the girls she's still sponsoring? We'll contact their families immediately. Some of them are in crisis right now, today. Patricia stopped walking. Don't you dare! Shut up! I snapped. Janet, I have a list of current victims on that drive. We'll handle it. Handle it how? With phone calls? These girls are fragile. Ms. Washington, we appreciate your concern. My concern just saved 63 lives. Patricia laughed bitterly. Saved? You destroyed everything. I got in her face. I destroyed your sick game. Those girls needed me? They needed recovery, not your poison. You have no idea what you've unleashed. I unleashed the truth. Janet stepped between us. That's enough. Patricia, you need to leave. I want to call my girls first. Absolutely not, I said. They deserve an explanation. They deserve freedom. From what? From you. Patricia's mask finally cracked completely. You self-righteous bitch. You think you know everything? I know enough. You know nothing. Those girls will relapse without structure. Your structure was killing them. My structure kept them alive. Your structure kept them sick. Same thing. The room went silent. Even Patricia realized what she'd just said. Did you record that? Janet asked me. I held up my phone. Every word! Patricia's face crumpled. I didn't mean... You meant exactly that, I said. Sick equals alive to you. That's your business model. Janet made notes. We're done here. Patricia, you're banned from this facility immediately. This is my office. Not anymore. My files, evidence now. Patricia grabbed for her desk drawer. I blocked her. Don't touch anything else. Those are my personal items. Nothing here is personal. It's all evidence. You can't take my things. Watch us, Janet said. One of the other board members started boxing up Patricia's desk. She lunged forward. "Stop! That's private!" "Nothing's private when you're under investigation." Patricia turned to me desperately. "Michelle, please, we can work this out." "Work what out?" "I'll stop. I'll get help. Just don't destroy my career." "Your career was built on destroying girls." "I can change." "You had 15 years to change." "I was sick too." "Being sick doesn't excuse making others sicker." "Please." I looked at this woman begging me to protect the system that nearly killed my daughter. "No." Patricia's desperation turned to rage. "Your daughter will relapse without me." "My daughter will recover without you." "She's not strong enough." "She's stronger than you think." "I know her better than you do." "You know her eating disorder. I know her." "She tells me everything." "She told me about your messages." Patricia went pale. "What messages?" "The ones telling her recovery is fake." "I never—" "The ones saying she's gaining too fast." "That's not—" "The ones about disappointing me if she got better." "Stop." "Should I stop the way you stopped her recovery?" "I helped her." "You helped her stay sick." "She needed guidance. She needed healing." "Same thing." "There it is again," Janet said, still writing. "Sick equals safe in your world." Patricia realized she'd done it twice. "I misspoke. You spoke your truth." My phone buzzed. Text from Kaya. "Mom, where are you? I heard Patricia's in trouble." I showed Patricia the message. "Want to explain this to her?" "Don't involve her in this." "You involved her when you sabotaged her recovery." "I protected her." "From what?" "From failing." "From succeeding, you mean?" "Success in recovery is temporary." "Not if you don't sabotage it." Patricia started pacing. "You don't understand eating disorders." "I understand predators." "I'm not a predator." "You fed on vulnerable girls for 15 years. I fed them hope. You fed them lies. I fed them reality. Your reality, not theirs." Janet closed her notebook. "We have enough. Patricia, you're done here. I want to appeal this. Appeal it from home. This is illegal seizure. This is protecting the public." Patricia looked around wildly. "Michelle, what about the other mothers? They trust me." "They trusted you." Past tense. "They'll side with me." "They'll side with their daughters." "You've turned them against me." "You turned them against themselves." The security guard appeared in the doorway. "Ma'am, we need you to leave now." Patricia straightened her jacket. "This isn't over." "Yes, it is," I said. "I'll fight this." "Fight it all you want." "I'll expose you." "Expose me for what? Protecting my daughter?" "For destroying innocent lives." "Innocent?" Janet laughed. "Ms. Henley, there's nothing innocent about what you did. I saved those girls from disappointment. You saved them from recovery. Recovery disappoints. Staying sick kills." Patricia headed for the door, then turned back one last time. "Michelle, your daughter will call me." "No, she won't. She needs me. She needs recovery. I am her recovery. You were her relapse." Patricia's final mask fell away completely. "Fine. You want the truth? Those girls were nothing without me. They were weak, pathetic, lost. I gave them purpose. You gave them eating disorders. I gave them identity. Sick identity. Better than no identity." Janet gestured to security. "Get her out of here." As they escorted Patricia away, she screamed back at me. "You'll regret this. When your daughter relapses, remember this moment." "When my daughter recovers, I'll remember this moment." The door slammed shut. Janet looked at me. "Are you okay?" My hands were shaking, but my voice was steady. "I'm perfect. This was brave, what you did. This was necessary." Same thing sometimes. I thought about Patricia's twisted logic. Not the same thing, but both important. We'll need detailed statements from you and the other mothers. Whatever you need. And we'll need to interview your daughter. She'll cooperate. Good, because this case is going to be huge. I looked around Patricia's empty office. 15 years of calculated damage finally stopped. Make it huge, I said. These girls deserve justice. They'll get it. My phone rang. Kaya. Mom, is it true about Patricia? It's true, baby. She really sabotaged my recovery. She sabotaged everything. Silence. Then, I feel so stupid. You feel manipulated. There's a difference. I trusted her. You trusted someone who claimed to help. That's not stupid. What happens now? Now you recover. For real this time. Without her? Especially without her. I'm scared, Mom. I know, but you're not alone. Promise? Promise. I hung up and looked at Janet. How many other girls are there, besides the 63? We're still counting. Count fast. Some of them are dying while we talk. We know. We're moving quickly. Move quicker? Janet smiled grimly. Yes, ma'am. As I left the treatment center, I thought about Patricia's last words. She'd threatened that Kaya would relapse without her. But Kaya was stronger than Patricia ever wanted her to be. And I was done letting anyone convince me otherwise. The door had barely closed when my phone exploded with calls. Michelle? It was Sandra from Group. What the hell is happening? Patricia's calling everyone, saying you destroyed her life. She destroyed her own life, and our daughter's. But she's saying you planted evidence? Sandra, stop. I was walking fast toward my car. Have you talked to Jessica today? This morning, she seemed upset about something. Ask her about Patricia's messages, the real ones. Silence. What messages? The ones telling her she's not sick enough. The ones saying recovery is fake. Michelle, that's what Patricia's been doing to all of them. For 15 years? I heard Sandra's sharp intake. Oh my God! Call the other mothers. Now, check your daughter's phones. This is insane. This is Patricia. I hung up and drove straight to Kaya's apartment. She was waiting on the steps, looking smaller than I'd seen her in months. Mom? Come here, baby. She fell into my arms. I feel so betrayed. I know. How could she do this to us? Because she's sick, sicker than any of us realized. Kaya pulled back. The other girls, do they know? They're about to. My phone rang again. Denise. Michelle, Patricia just showed up at my office. What? She's in the lobby, demanding to see me. Security's holding her, but she's screaming about lawsuits and conspiracies. Call the police. Already did. But Michelle, she looks unhinged. She is unhinged. Stay away from her. She's threatening to expose some kind of secret about you. What secret? Something about your past, about why you really moved here. My blood went cold. She doesn't know anything about my past. She says she does. She says she's been watching you for years. The pieces clicked into place. Denise, how did Patricia first contact you about the support group? She called me. Said she'd heard about Jessica through a mutual friend. What friend? She never said exactly. And how did she get your number? Silence. I don't remember. Think, Denise. This is important. She knew things about Jessica's treatment history, about our insurance, about things she shouldn't have known. Oh, God, Michelle, what if she's been stalking all of us? Not stalking, hunting. I looked at Kaya, who was listening with growing horror. Mom, what does this mean? It means Patricia didn't just randomly find vulnerable girls. She targeted them. My phone buzzed. Text from unknown number. You think you won? Check your daughter's medical records. I know everything about both of you. I showed Kaya the message. That's her, isn't it? Kaya whispered. That's her. How does she know about my medical records? I don't know, but we're going to find out. I called Janet. Patricia's making threats. She claims to have access to private medical information. That's a federal crime. Add it to the list. Where are you now? With my daughter. Patricia just threatened us both. Stay put. We're sending protection. Protection? Michelle, we found something else. Patricia isn't just licensed in California. She's had licenses in 4 other states over the past 20 years. And she's left a trail of suspicious patient deaths in every one? The world tilted. Deaths? Young women, all in eating disorder treatment, all under her care when they died. Kaya grabbed my arm. Mom? How many? I managed. 11 that we can confirm. Probably more. Jesus Christ. We're treating this as a serial case now. Patricia Henley isn't just a bad therapist. She's a predator who's been killing vulnerable women for 2 decades. I sat down hard on the steps. Kaya could have been... But she wasn't, because you stopped it. We have to warn everyone, all the families. Already in progress, but Michelle, Patricia's disappeared. What do you mean, disappeared? She left the treatment center and vanished. Her apartment's empty, her car's gone. She's running. Or hunting. My blood froze. The other girls, the current ones. We're checking on all of them now. Kaya was staring at me. Mom, what's happening? I covered the phone. Patricia's more dangerous than we thought. How dangerous? Very dangerous. Janet's voice crackled back. Michelle, we need you and Kaya in protective custody until we find her. She wouldn't actually hurt us, would she? She's killed 11 people. What do you think? I thought about Patricia's final words at the treatment center. The rage in her eyes. The complete absence of remorse. We'll be ready, I said. Good. Units are 2 minutes out. I hung up and looked at Kaya. Baby, we need to pack. Fast. Where are we going? Somewhere safe. For how long? Until they catch her. Kaya stood up, steadier than I expected. Mom? Yeah? I'm glad you destroyed her. I didn't destroy her. I exposed her. Same thing. Not the same thing, but both necessary. We went inside to pack. As I threw clothes into a bag, I thought about all the mothers I'd called today. All the daughters who were finally learning the truth about their helpful sponsor. My phone rang one more time. Patricia. Hello, Michelle. Where are you? Nearby. Very nearby. The police are looking for you. Let them look. It's over, Patricia. Everyone knows what you did. Everyone knows what you think I did. Everyone knows what you are. What am I, Michelle? A killer. Silence. Then, prove it. I already have. Those girls were dying anyway. I just helped them along. You murdered them. I freed them from disappointment. You freed them from life. Life disappoints, Michelle. Death doesn't. You're sick. I'm realistic. You're finished. Am I? Look outside. I moved to the window. Across the street, a dark sedan was parked under a tree. I see you, Patricia said. I see you too. Your daughter's very pretty. Shame if something happened to her recovery. Stay away from her. Or what? Or I'll kill you myself. Patricia laughed. There's the real Michelle, not the concerned mother, the fighter. You have no idea who you're dealing with. Don't I? I know about Detroit, Michelle. I know why you really left. My heart stopped. You don't know anything? I know about Marcus. I know about the fire. I know about the choices you made. That has nothing to do with this. Doesn't it? You destroyed a man's life to protect your family then. What makes this different? You're not family. You're poison. And you're a killer, just like me. The line went dead. Kaya appeared in the doorway. Mom? Who was that? I looked at my daughter, alive, getting stronger, finally free from Patricia's manipulation, and made my choice. That was the past. What did she want? To scare us. Did it work? I thought about Detroit, about Marcus, about the fire that solved all our problems and created new ones. No, I said. It didn't work. Because Patricia had made one crucial mistake. She thought I was afraid of becoming like her. But I'd been like her long before we met. The difference was, I only killed to protect the people I loved. And right now, that included 63 vulnerable girls who deserved better than dying for Patricia's twisted version of mercy. I finished packing and looked out the window again. The sedan was still there. This ends now? I said quietly. Kaya looked confused. What ends? Everything. My phone buzzed. Text from Patricia. You'll pay for this. I texted back. I'm done playing nice. Then I deleted the message and turned to Kaya. Change of plans, baby. We're not running. We're not? No, we're finishing this. Because Patricia was right about one thing. I was a fighter. And this was war. I grabbed the baseball bat from Kaya's closet and headed for the door. Mom, what are you doing? What I should have done weeks ago. You can't go out there? Watch me. I stepped onto the porch. The sedan's engine was running. Patricia, I shouted, get out of the car. The door opened. She emerged slowly, like she had all the time in the world. Hello, Michelle. It's over. Is it? The police know everything. Do they know about Detroit? That's ancient history. Murder doesn't have a statute of limitations. I gripped the bat tighter. Neither does justice. Patricia smiled. You think you're the hero here? I think you're a child killer. Those girls were already dead inside. They were getting better. They were getting false hope. They were getting healthy. Health is temporary. Death is permanent. So is prison. Patricia laughed. You think they'll arrest me? I know they will. With what evidence? Your confession. Recorded. Inadmissible. The flash drive. Circumstantial. The families will testify. Grief makes people unreliable. You're insane. I'm thorough. She started walking toward me. Stay back. Or what? You'll hit me with that bat? Try me. I don't think you will. You don't know me. Don't I? 45 years old, divorced, desperate to save a daughter who'll probably relapse anyway. Shut up. It's genetic, you know, the addiction, the weakness. I said shut up. Your daughter will die eventually. They all do. Not on my watch. Your watch is about to end. Patricia reached into her jacket. Gun! Kaya screamed from the doorway. I swung the bat, connected with Patricia's wrist. The gun flew across the yard. You bitch! That's for Kaya! I swung again. Missed. Patricia grabbed the bat. We fought for control. She was stronger than she looked. You destroyed everything. You destroyed yourself. I helped those girls. You killed them. They wanted to die. They wanted to live. Life is suffering. So is death. Patricia yanked the bat away, raised it over her head. I dove sideways. The bat hit concrete. Mom! Stay inside. Patricia swung again. I rolled. The bat splintered against the porch railing. We were both on the ground now, fighting dirty. You ruined me. You were already ruined. She grabbed my throat. I kneed her in the stomach. 15 years of work. 15 years of murder. They trusted me. They trusted you to help them. I did help them. You killed them. I freed them. You're sick. I'm realistic. I got my hands around her throat. This is for Sarah. Patricia's eyes bulged. And Jessica. Her face turned red. And Amy. She clawed at my hands. And all the others. Patricia went limp. I held on for 10 more seconds, then let go. She wasn't breathing. I checked for a pulse. Nothing. Mom, Kaya ran over. Is she? Yeah. You killed her. I stopped her. Same thing. Not the same thing, but both necessary. Sirens in the distance, getting closer. What do we tell them? Self-defense. Will they believe us? They'll have to. The police cars turned onto our street, lights flashing. Mom? Yeah? I'm proud of you. For what? For protecting me. Always, baby. Even if it means, especially if it means. The cars stopped in front of our house. Officers getting out. Michelle Jackson? That's me? You're under arrest. I figured. They cuffed me, read me my rights. Mom! It's okay, Kaya. No, it's not. Yes, it is. They put me in the back seat. Through the window, I watched them examine Patricia's body. Take photos, measure distances. My phone buzzed one last time. Text from Denise. All 63 girls are safe. Patricia's network is finished. I smiled. Worth it. The car pulled away from the curb. In the rearview mirror, I saw Kaya on the porch. Strong, alive, free. Tomorrow the fight would begin. Legal battles, court hearings, prison maybe. But tonight? Tonight, 63 girls would sleep peacefully. And Patricia Henley would never hurt anyone again. The car turned the corner. I closed my eyes and thought about Detroit, about Marcus, about the choices we make when everything's on the line. Some battles you walk away from, others you finish. This one I finished. Tomorrow, the fight. But tonight, I won. The courtroom was packed. Standing room only. I sat at the defendant's table in my best black dress, hands folded, watching the prosecutor pace like a caged animal. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, Michelle Jackson took the law into her own hands. My lawyer leaned over. Remember, stay calm. I nodded. 3 months in county jail had taught me patience. She murdered Patricia Henley in cold blood. Objection. Sustained. The prosecutor continued. She killed Patricia Henley without trial, without due process. She saved 63 girls, I whispered to myself. The evidence was overwhelming. My confession, the physical fight, Patricia's body. But something else was overwhelming too. The gallery behind me, filled with families, with survivors, girls who'd escaped Patricia's web, parents who'd lost daughters to her manipulation, all here for me. Your Honor, we'd like to call our first witness. My heart stopped. Kaya Jackson. My daughter walked to the stand. 19 now, healthy, strong. Do you swear to tell the truth? I do. The prosecutor started his attack. Miss Jackson, did you see your mother kill Patricia Henley? I saw my mother defend herself. Did she go outside with a weapon? She went outside to confront a woman who'd been stalking our house. Did she intend to harm Miss Henley? She intended to protect me. My lawyer took over. Kaya, can you tell us about Patricia's treatment? She told me recovery was fake, that I'd always be sick, that my mother didn't understand. How did that make you feel? Hopeless, like dying was easier than living. And after Patricia's death, I started healing. Really healing, for the first time. The prosecutor objected. My lawyer pressed on. How many other girls has your mother helped since Patricia's death? Hundreds. She started a foundation, helps families identify predators in recovery programs. Objection. Irrelevant. Overruled. I'll allow it. Kaya looked directly at me. My mother saved my life, and she's saving others every day. The testimony continued for hours. Survivors, parents, recovery specialists, all painting the same picture. Patricia Henley was a predator. I was a protector. But I'd still killed someone. The jury deliberated for 6 hours. I paced my holding cell. Prayed. Remembered Detroit. Some sins follow you forever. Others set you free. Jury's back. I walked into the courtroom one last time. Saw Kaya in the front row, Denise beside her. Have you reached a verdict? We have, Your Honor. On the charge of voluntary manslaughter, how do you find? My heart stopped. Not guilty. The courtroom erupted. Cheers, crying, relief. I collapsed into my chair. On the charge of justifiable homicide in defense of others? Wait, there was another charge? Not guilty. More cheers. The judge banged his gavel. Order, order. My lawyer grabbed my hand. You're free, Michelle. Free. I walked out of that courthouse into bright sunlight. Kaya threw her arms around me. I knew they'd see the truth. It's over, baby. Is it? I looked at the crowd of reporters, cameras, questions shouted from everywhere. Michelle, what's next for the Henley Foundation? Will you continue investigating recovery programs? Are there other predators out there? I stepped to the microphone someone shoved in my face. Patricia Henley destroyed lives for 15 years. She won't destroy any more. What about other programs? Other sponsors? We're watching. We're investigating. And when we find them... I paused, looked directly into the camera. They'll answer for it. That night, I sat in my kitchen with a cup of coffee and a stack of letters. Letters from families. From survivors. From people who'd heard the story. All asking the same thing. Help us. My daughter's sponsor seemed suspicious. Can you investigate this program? I think my sister's therapist is manipulating her. Predators everywhere, hiding behind help, using vulnerability as a weapon. My phone buzzed. Text from unknown number. You think Patricia was the only one? There are dozens of us. We know where you live. I screenshot the message. Added it to my growing file. Another buzz. Your daughter looks healthy. Shame if something happened to her recovery. Another screenshot. You killed the wrong person, Michelle. The real monsters are still out there. I smiled, set down my coffee, opened my laptop, started typing. Henley Foundation investigation request form. Suspect name. Location. Relationship to victim. Evidence attached. Tomorrow the real work would begin. Patricia was just the beginning, a single thread in a web that stretched across the country. Recovery programs, therapy centers, support groups, all infiltrated, all compromised, all hunting grounds for predators who fed on desperation. But now they had something they'd never had before, a hunter hunting them. I'd spent 45 years learning to fight. The next 45? I'd spend them fighting back. My phone buzzed again. We're coming for you. I typed back, good, I'm waiting. Then I turned off the phone, locked the doors, checked on Kaya. She was sleeping peacefully. Finally. I went back to my laptop, started making lists, names, locations, patterns. The network Patricia had built didn't die with her. It just found new leadership. But so did the resistance. 63 girls freed was just the beginning. Hundreds more were waiting, and I had time, resources, motivation. Most importantly, I had nothing left to lose. The war with Patricia was over. The war with her network, that was just starting. I opened a new document, started typing my manifesto. To every predator hiding in recovery programs. You think you're safe. You think you're protected. You're wrong. I found Patricia. I stopped her. I'll find you too. And when I do, you'll wish you'd never heard the name Michelle Jackson. I saved the document, scheduled it to post on social media at midnight. Then I made another cup of coffee and got back to work. Names, faces, locations. Hunting season had officially begun. My life, my choice. For now. Did you enjoy my story? Which city are you watching from? Let's meet in the comments. If you liked this story, you can support me by sending a super thanks so I can keep bringing more stories like this. Thank you so much for your sweet support. I'm looking forward to your comments. On the screen, you'll see 2 new life stories I highly recommend. There's so much more on my channel. Don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next life story.